Mixtapes and Tasty Cakes podcast. I'm Bert Lepore. He's Samuel Monte Carlo. We're hanging here with Angry Mike D, and we talk about music, movies, and so much more.
All right, we're back. First episode of 2022, Mixtapes and Tasty Cakes, episode 63.
Happy New Year.
Yeah, Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year.
This one we're talking about rock and roll or just musical supergroups. We got a few different, we just picked, we didn't rank them or anything. We just picked like some notable ones that, I'm sure everyone probably knows. And I guess some you don't even really think that they're really supergroups. You just think of them as like regular bands and stuff. But, some of them put out quite a few records. Some were like one-offs. But I think all these are really solid, all the ones on the list.
Yeah, Damo came up with a list, and we didn't even think twice. We were like, "This is great." So we were like, "Yeah, just not. I mean, listen, we're going to miss a couple. We'll get it next time. This is what we have in our mind today." So let's start it off, Damo. Them Crooked Vultures together from 2009 and 2010, and I'm sure it's maybe not a one-off, but it's probably there whenever they feel like doing it. What do you think, Damo?
Yeah, I agree. I don't know if that's like a done deal, but I'm sure they might revisit that. And I kind of heard that they might, in the future. But that was actually it's a pretty cool band. I thought, a lot of energy. It was cool to see John Paul Jones from Zeppelin doing something. But yeah, it was Josh Homme from Queens of the Stone Age, Dave Grohl from everything, John Paul Jones from that little band Led Zeppelin, and it was like a power trio, real loud rock band. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, I actually prefer them over Queens of Stone Age and Foo Fighters.
yeah.
I mean, I thought it was a great record. Mike P, what you think about this record?
I thought it came. What's so funny? I actually thought this album came out a couple of years ago, and that's when I heard it for the first time. And I'm, wow, man, this just blows my mind. I'm telling everybody, yeah, man, you got to hear this record. Them Crooked Vultures, that's been out for a while.
Hard to believe, ain't it?
Yeah,
I was like, I really found this late. I couldn't believe how late I found this.
Yeah, it's a solid record, man.
Oh my God. I went the other day and I was trying to see how much this would be on vinyl. I was like, I'll pick it up if it's not too bad. This thing goes from like anywhere from like 100 to maybe 300 for like a new copy. It's crazy.
Yeah, vinyl is so hot right now. I know we all kind of collected a little bit, but it's so hot right now. I mean, I looked, they had Billboard had something saying that their sales like doubled or something crazy like that. It's like the highest selling in volume of vinyl since the 90s or something like that.
I'm loving it. I was never into the vinyl back in the day. Like my mother has a lot of it, and I would listen to her Beatles stuff and Rolling Stones, but I don't know. Besides that, I'm like, I didn't think there was future in it. I'm like, the CDs are the future. I didn't think there was really going to be much past the CDs. Like how much smaller are you going to get?
Right.
So
yeah, right.
And
but
cassettes.
When you look,
cassettes.
Oh yeah. But when you look back at
I kind of like cassettes, but yeah, it was a major.
They had their own thing. They had a cool factor, like something about them, but
they wore out fast. They wore out fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're trying to make like kind of like a retro kind of like comeback. It's kind of like an ironic thing though, just almost as like a nostalgic joke,
right.
I think people, and listen, it's funny because I was telling Mike this the other day, is that I like all the formats. I have stuff on CD, I have stuff on vinyl, I have, I don't have really many cassettes anymore if I have one or two laying around, but vinyl I love. CDs don't bother me, and I love the MP3s just because it's like a jukebox in your phone or whatever. So I like, depending where I'm at is where I use it. Sometimes I want to hear the vinyl. Sometimes I just want to hear the MP3. I mean, the best sounding for me, I think, is the vinyl.
It's a mood.
And, it's a mood.
I agree.
And it's whenever's convenient sometimes too.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of think the CD is the most pristine sound. Vinyl is going to sound different, but I think it's more of like an ambience thing.
Yes.
With vinyl, it is like a different, with the crackling and all that. I mean,
the bottom end sounds better on vinyl. The low end,
I agree.
Sounds better on it. The highs
'cause
sound better
it's
on
analog.
Yeah, the highs sound better probably on the CD. It's to me the CD's too pristine. The vinyls, I like the warmth of the vinyl, probably the best. And yeah, I mean,
Well,
I'm loving.
How about the pictures? You know, you get the whole feel of it, the artwork. You
Yeah.
know, if
That's
it's
the
a
best
great
part.
album
That's
cover,
the best part.
you know, you get to see all the little hidden stuff that's in there. You know, but
Maybe bands will start
you
making
lost
money
everything.
again. You know,
right?
they might
Yeah.
start making money again. But I mean, before we go into this, more of the supergroup stuff, how about all these older bands are selling their catalog right now? We just see Motley Crue, ZZ Top, Bruce Springsteen. That's 3 off the bat that we know of that just sold their catalog, and for good money, but not crazy money. Now I'm thinking, Dave,
I think ZZ Top got ripped off.
Yeah, you might know more about this than me. See how they sell their rights to the song, right? So if a commercial, somebody wants to use it, if Universal bought it, they could use it for whatever they want to use it for. Now ZZ Top sold the rights, but they still probably get paid for the performing rights.
Yeah, for that I think they do.
So why not grab the money while you're older, but you're still making the performing? It could be a win-win.
Yeah, I mean they make most of their money now.
You know what?
On performing anyway, but like a band like ZZ Top, you get one of those songs in a commercial, you're going to make a shitload of money. But
yeah,
at this point, this stage in our life, they're like 70 or whatever. It's like, take the money.
Yeah, so I don't blame them.
You know what? If I had enough money to where I didn't have to, if I even had a catalog, first of all, I guess my baby tapes don't count. But if I had enough money to maintain myself for the rest of my life and, live a good lifestyle and not have to worry about anything, and I had my catalog, I'd be like, fuck you. Nobody's getting it. I'm leaving in my will either to my kids. And if they don't want it, it goes in the public domain. Everybody can use it. You know what?
That's how I feel.
Fuck these greedy little fucking corporate fingers, man.
Right.
Fuck them.
Yeah, it's almost like it's like it's your art, man. Like you feel like you want to protect that with everything you've got. Just sell it. It's just it kind of. I mean, it's not. I'm not invested in any of this. I mean, some of these songs I love, so I feel like I am. But it kind of bugs me a little bit when I see these bands selling their, selling all their rights. It's kind of like it doesn't really, like they don't really care about it like as much as I do.
Yeah,
it's like it's kind of weird. I don't know if anybody could relate to that, but
yeah,
I
think I don't know if, like I said, if it's a quick money grab, and as long as they're still getting, like I said, I'm not sure how it works, but if they're still getting royalties from a performance of the song, or performing on the record or whatever the deal is, that's a win-win.
Nope.
They get this money up front, and now they're getting still paid from the performances.
Well, what's funny is all these guys selling it pretty much I don't think they need all that extra money. So
right, exactly.
Why are they selling it? You know what I mean? I'm with Mike on that. It's like,
is that your kids or your grandkids saying, hey, sell it, give us the money?
Right,
or is it like,
Yeah. Or is it like a band like
I could really use that money. Let me sell it.
I need a new
Bruce Springsteen. Do you need the 500 million?
Right. Or like a band like Motley Crue who fought for their shit. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, you kind of look like idiots now. You fought for now. Okay, we have it. We're here. Here you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't think Metallica will sell. I don't
think they will.
They don't. I don't think they will. I don't see like Zeppelin or somebody like that doing it, or like Paul McCartney selling his. I don't see those guys, doing that. They just, or Guns N' Roses. I don't think they'll ever do that.
How did the Beatles end up like losing it to Michael Jackson? What was you know the deal on that one?
I forget. I remember reading about it, something to do with the label. But didn't Paul McCartney buy that back like a few years ago?
I think he did get it back somehow. I think I read it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Could be one of those Mandela effects.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I'll have to look into that.
I think he did get it back. But going back to the supergroup thing, them Crooked Vultures, great record, title record, same name as the band. And I guess the song, you could say that the song that was probably the biggest song off there was that New Fang song. But the whole record was good. The whole record.
Oh, I love that record. Love it. Beginning to end.
Yeah, it's a great record. I like them. I like that band better than the Foo Fighters, and like I was saying before, I like them better than the Foo Fighters and Queens of the Stone Age. They're both good bands.
It kind of reminds me of
like this.
It reminds me of Queens of the Stone Age a bit.
It's got that feel with the voice. It's that voice,
Yeah.
It's that voice. All right, guys, we're going to move on to the second band on this list. We're going to go back a little bit. Bad Company from 1973, and there's still some of them guys in that band today that that are still touring. I don't think they're putting anything out, but they're still touring with different guys in the band. Damo, what do you think about the Bad Company?
Yeah, like they were kind of like a blues-based hard rock band in the 70s and into the 80s, and was born out of the ashes of Free, which was Paul Rodgers and Simon Kirke and who the hell was a guitar player?
Mick Ralphs from Mott the Hoople.
Paul Kossoff from Free, and I think he passed away, or the band broke
and I think
up,
Mick Ralphs joined them or something like that.
Yeah, and then so I was members of Free, Mott the Hoople,
King Crimson,
and they weren't like a one-off supergroup. They actually became like like a pretty huge band for a long time. Probably should be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. But yeah, I mean, Feel Like Making Love, Shooting Star, Rock and Roll Fantasy. I mean,
a lot of
Can't
songs.
Get Enough. I mean, a ton of hits. I mean, and Paul Rodgers is probably one of the greatest rock singers of all the time.
Still influenced a ton of people. He influenced a shitload of people. And even he did that Queen thing, and he was pretty good with the Queen thing. I heard a little bit of it. But he was pretty good when they did that. I guess they did like a record and a tour with him or something like that.
Yeah, I guess at the time they were trying to find somebody, I guess probably one of their peers, someone their age, from their era, who could still do it. And he was like the obvious choice.
Yeah, he's a great singer
for a while. Yeah,
Mike D, Bad Company.
I always look at them as being like an old man kind of band when I was younger. Like even the name kind of sounds it, but
yeah.
I never really knew how much of their stuff I actually knew. Like I'll hear stuff come on the radio and I'm like, and this is where I always confuse. I'm like, is this Boston? No, that's Bad Company.
Yeah.
I'll be like, is this Foreigner? No, that's Bad Company.
I'm like,
okay, this must be Bad Company. Like, no, that's Foreigner.
Yeah.
I could definitely.
They have a ton of hits. Yeah, I mean, I'm just looking at the list of their songs. Like, I can't believe how many of these songs I actually know.
Yeah, but, they had 12 studio records, which is crazy.
Yeah,
but the first couple, you had a lot of hits on the first couple.
Mm-hmm.
A real lot of hits. All right, so moving on to the next band. This is one of my personal favorite bands, Velvet Revolver. They were around from 2002 to 2008. Scott Weiland on vocals / on guitar, Duff McKagan on bass, Dave Kirshner on guitar, Matt Sorum from Guns N' Roses and the Cult on drums. Damo, what's your thoughts on the old Velvet Revolver?
Yeah, I was really excited when when I heard that Slash and Duff were trying to put something together. And originally I think even Izzy Stradlin was involved, and they're trying to get all these singers. I remember thinking, Sebastian Bach would be a good fit. And then like after the band became a band, they put out that reality show. I don't think he was in that, but I know there was he in that, or
I don't think so. He
did audition.
Yeah,
but I thought Scott Weiland was
fucking
perfect choice, and it kind of saw, like, I wasn't a Scott Weiland fan at that point, but then he slowly kind of found his own identity, or adopted David Bowie's identity, I guess.
Yeah.
he dropped all the Eddie Vedder shtick that he had early on.
Yeah.
But they were great. I mean, I really, really loved the first album. The second album, not so much. There's a couple.
I like the second one better than the first one.
It just sounds like a different, kind of like a different band, the production wise and everything. It doesn't sound. It sounds more like a Stone Temple Pilots record.
Yeah, I can see that.
It leans more on Stone Temple Pilots than like GNR, I think.
Yeah, the first record I thought was a little punkier, a little rock and roll punky kind of thing going on.
Which I liked.
Yeah, and the second record I thought was just more polished, which makes sense. He said it's more polished, way more like way more vocal oriented,
Yeah.
But Mike D, Velvet Revolver.
So when this came out, it was about 2002, 3, something like that.
2002.
Yeah, I mean, I was just so like disenchanted with like new rock music coming out. Like everything coming out was Nirvana. Still, I kind of was listening to a lot of industrial stuff, KMFDM at that point and everything. So I kind of just brushed this one off and didn't really hear this till like years later. I think you might have played it for me, but I'll have to give this another listen because I wasn't really thrilled with it, to say, but.
I knew you weren't going to like it. Just by how you started off, but
it's weird because I like all the bands that form it, which is. But
sometimes they don't work. You could put the best ingredients. Does it make the best?
I mean, sometimes you listen to something, you're just not in the mood at that point. So it's like, but other than that, you'll listen to it again and like years later, you're like, oh, this is great. So you got to give it another shot.
It kind of reminded me like years ago, 5 years ago, we were Mach 22. We were playing up in Boston, and we had some time to kill in the afternoon, so we found a record store, and Jaron was going through the CDs, and he found like the Velvet Revolver, the Contraband CD, and we were all like, "Oh, dude, that's great!" You never heard this? He was like, "No, I never heard anything from it." It's like, "Oh, you're gonna love it. It's great." So anyway, after the gig, we're driving home, and we're all in the van, and he puts a CD on, and like every track he just fucking hated it. He grabbed the CD. Like, this is total trash. He grabs the CD, throws it right out the friggin' window on the highway.
Oh my god!
Man, see, I'll never do that though. I'll give it a shot. Like I'll put it back in my collection. Throw it on a rainy day or something like that, and because your tastes change from day to day. Some mine do it,
right?
You know?
So the whole reaction was kind of funny.
I mean, I like it. I like it a lot. I think I do like the second record better than the first record.
Yeah. So some people do.
It was two. I only put on 2 albums: Contraband and if I say Libertad, if that's the way you say it. I don't even know if that's the way you say it. But their biggest song would have to probably be Slither, I would think. Falling to Pieces, Slither.
Yeah, I like Set Me Free.
That was the one from the movie, right? That was on the movie.
Yeah,
soundtrack.
That's my favorite song.
Hold me close and set me free.
Not that Set Me Free.
Set me free.
That guy with that weird accent. I don't know who that was.
Like a parasite clinging to my life.
David still remembers it. That's funny.
Oh yeah, I know the lyrics too.
One enchanted dream.
I got a copy of that.
He does too.
David put it on cassette.
We're gonna have to. Can we get this put on Discogs?
Fuck no. No.
I transferred it over to made a digital copy of it.
That's funny.
Like a parrot.
Anyway, moving on to another super group. All right, guys, moving on to the next big band, Audioslave, from 2001 to 2007. Band members Chris Cornell, Tom Morello, Tim Comerford, if I'm saying it right, and Brad Wilk. Pretty much Rage Against the Machine with Cornell singing, which I'm all right with. What do you got, Damo?
Yeah, me too. I kind of dug this more than the respective bands. Honestly, it was like I thought it was like one super group that I thought was better, in my opinion, because I'm just watching Weezer. Did you hear that?
No, I heard.
I like one Soundgarden record. I kind of like Rage Against the Machine a little bit, although I don't own any of their records, but I wouldn't say like I'm a huge fan or even a fan. I just kind of like them a little bit, but so I think this was a good medium for me, this band. It was, really good. What they put 3 records out?
3. Yeah. 3.
Wow. Yeah.
I only thought it was about 2. But
Audioslave, Out of Exile, and Revelations, which is the one you didn't hear much about. That was the 3rd.
Right. Yeah, I was kind of surprised they didn't. I was kind of surprised that they broke up or disbanded or whatever hiatus. Yeah. I don't know what happened.
Or that might have been the thing where they could have went back to. You got to remember a lot of those, like Morello or Cornell, at that point in their careers, and Morello still, they pretty much do 1,000 things and go back to it and do another 1,000 things. Yeah, they're always same thing with that Grohl. They're all 3 of those guys were always doing a ton of stuff, you know?
Yeah,
So
it
you
didn't
never
seem
know.
like there was any bad blood, from what I can
No.
remember. But
No. Mike D, what you got?
Man, I love Soundgarden. They had about at least 4 or 5 albums out, in my opinion, that were great. And Rage Against the Machine, music-wise, I think they're great. I think Tom Morello is an incredible guitar player. Some of the sounds that he does are just out of this world. But like, I don't know, their stuff kind of all sounded the same after a bit. But that first album, man, they put out for the Audioslave, that was just from beginning to end. There was, you didn't want to skip a song on that.
yeah, it was good stuff.
The second album, I really didn't like at all. And maybe I have to give it another try, but I didn't even know there was a third. So,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll have to check them out one day. I don't know how good they are.
Yeah. I love Soundgarden, especially probably from Louder Than Love on, and then when you got, of course, the Bad Motorfinger is probably my favorite one from them. But so you got Cornell, who's probably one of the greatest rock vocalists ever. You got him in this band. You got the music from Rage Against the Machine, pretty much them guys. And I'm not a big Rage fan. I do own probably 4 of their CDs just because I don't know why. But there are a couple songs that are good. I just am not a fan of that vocal for more than 3 songs. I can't say it's not good at all because there's a couple songs that are really good, but I don't need to hear more than 3 songs of that kind of vocal stuff. So when they made this together and they made Audioslave, I loved it. I thought Cornell was just so damn good. So damn good. And it was poppier than both of the other bands. So it was more radio friendly, but still had an edge to it. You had your Zeppelin kind of sound and riffs on there and stuff like that. And even like Cochise, I think was the first one we heard. We heard a demo before it came out. And I remember me and Don were listening to it and we're like, wow, like this is just, it had all the Zeppelin stuff going on.
Yeah, it was cool. It had a cool grooves. Yeah.
Fucking great, man. And his voice is just unbelievable. I like all 3 records, but the first one is like a home run, First one's a home run.
What year did that come out? Like around 2002
or
2001,
2002.
Yeah.
So they only were around for like 5-6 years or something like that. But
yeah.
And they probably would have did something else again, I think. His voice, you would start hearing some live stuff, and his voice was kind of, it sounded like he was struggling a little bit with some of the Audioslave stuff live.
Yeah.
Still good, struggling, not a bad thing for him. He still sounded great, but his range is crazy. So when he started, I guess, doing more of that solo stuff, if you notice, it was a little more laid back, quietly singing without that screaming,
Yeah.
All right, here goes. We have 1 or 2 interesting ones on our list. And here's one of them. The Traveling Wilburys from 1988 to 1991. Roy Orbison, George Harrison, Tom Petty, Bob Dylan, and Jeff Lynne. And they only have 2 records. They have one called Volume 1 and one called Volume 3. Interesting.
Yeah.
There's another band who did that too. I forget who it was, but there was another band.
I think a few bands.
Where they just, Chickenfoot, which we'll get to later on. Chickenfoot did that.
Oh, yeah.
Probably because of that, maybe, Damo, what you got in the Traveling Wilburys?
Yeah, they all used aliases too. I think all their names, they use like Wilbury as their last name. So it was all kind of like tongue in cheek. But yeah, man, this is like, if you've got like the greatest friggin' legendary, early rockers in the band, Roy Orbison, George Harrison, Beatles, Tom Petty, Bob Dylan. I'm not a big fan of. I'm not a fan of Bob Dylan at all, but you can't deny he's not probably one of the greatest songwriters of all time. And Jeff Lynne from ELO, and it was just great band. I remember when they came out, I was not into this kind of music at all. I was all into like metal and stuff.
Right,
but
same thing here. Yeah.
When it came out, like the video for Handle with Care, it was like I fucking loved it. Even as I was like 11 years old or something when it came out, and I just like, what's that?
I'm like, Handle with Care. I'm like, of course they're all fucking old men. They're like, Handle with Care.
They're probably younger than we are now.
Yeah, right. Yeah, true.
That was Handle with Care was one with everybody want somebody. That's
want somebody.
Yeah. Dude, it was great. I just loved it. The video was cool and everything. I'm over there listening to Metallica and Guns N' Roses, but I
it was
also
good.
loved that band at the time. I remember I remember telling my mom, and she thought it was kind of funny that I liked them and everything. And, like these old guys, and and then Roy Orbison passed away, and I think the second album came out like after he died. But yeah, it was really good. I still put it on once in a while.
And if you look at it,
there's a track on their second album. Oh God, man, it was, what the hell was it called? I got to look this up, but it's actually pretty rocking tune.
I don't remember the second one too much.
Well, I heard it on. I think they played it on Little Steven's Underground Garage. I was like, "Who the hell is this, man? This tune is killer." And it was Traveling Wilburys. Like, holy shit! Never would have thought that.
So is Bob Dylan and Jeff Lynne the only two still alive then, right? Is Jeff Lynne still alive? I guess.
Yeah.
And Bob Dylan.
Yeah, that's it.
Wow. So it's
2
out of 5. 1,
Man.
2, 3. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah. Guess what? Great.
Yeah, and the drummer they had with them was this guy named Jim Keltner, who was probably like one of the greatest studio drummers of all time. Like Ringo would use him, and just like every like huge name musician that wants a great drummer uses this guy. So
it's either him or Kenny Horner.
Like choice.
They're like the two.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's awesome too. He's awesome.
I remember what was cool is I remember Ringo was even in one of the played drums on one of their songs, and I remember he was in the video, and it was cool to see. It was like the closest thing to a Beatles reunion.
Right? Yeah, I kind of dug it
that time.
Mike D, what do you think of these berries?
When it came out, I never heard this whole album. I kind of strayed away from this. The only reason I would watch it was to just laugh at Bob Dylan going, it's like, but like, I don't know. Like back then, this was just old man music to me, even though I love the Beatles, but this was just too old for me. And even I like Tom Petty back then. So, but now I think I'd appreciate it a little bit more.
Same.
Yeah. The tune to check out, I found it. It's on the second album. It's called She's My Baby. And dude, it's almost like borderline hard rock. It's like pretty, for these guys, it's pretty hard rock, pretty heavy for these old dudes who again are probably younger than us right now.
That's funny.
At this point.
I don't know. I'm going to beg to differ.
It's got to be close.
Got to be older than us.
I don't know. It's got to be close.
1988.
Go find out. I don't feel like doing the math on this.
I'm going to look up George Harrison.
There you go.
He was born 43, right? 88,
45, something like that, right?
Yeah.
40. Wow.
So he was younger than what I am right now.
Wow.
All right.
Tom Petty was obviously the youngest guy in the band.
Well, Roy's got to be the oldest.
Yeah. Roy Orbison, it was probably, he's got to be like
60.
You probably think he was like 70 at the time, but he's probably more like 50. Okay, he was born in 36.
Wow.
So he was 52 when the first album came out.
Dude, we're not that far off.
I know. We're like right there.
Yeah. We're going to be the traveling. We're going to be the not traveling Wilburys.
Yeah.
The local berries. The dingleberries.
Dingleberries.
Yeah. The dingleberries.
That's funny.
We're the sit-at-home dingleberries.
Yeah. I really thought they were great, man. It was
I'm going to give that another try.
I'm going to go back and listen to it.
The vinyl's cheap enough.
You know what? Make sure you check out that tune. It's really good.
It's on the second record, right?
It's called She's My Baby. There's actually a video for it.
Yeah, I'll check it out tonight. I'll definitely check it out tonight. All right, guys, moving on to the next one. Cream from 1966 to 1968, 69-ish. You got Eric Clapton, Jack Bruce, and Ginger Baker. What do you got, Damo?
Yeah, this might be like the first like supergroup, before, this was probably the first known supergroup is everything that I've read. But Clapton came from the Yardbirds. Jack Bruce played with John Mayall and the Blues Breakers, which also I think Clapton.
He did a lot of jazz shit too, yeah.
Yeah, and Ginger Baker and Jack Bruce played together in bands, and Ginger Baker was like a known jazz guy. and a known jerk off too.
Mr. Baker, you ever see a documentary? It's the Beware Mr.
Yes,
Baker. Fucking
saw
great.
some of it. I didn't see the whole
I
thing.
heard that was a good documentary.
What a
It's great.
crabby bastard he is.
You know who
Really?
told me to
That
watch
bad?
that?
Yeah.
Oh, bad. It's worth watching though. Jimmy Durnick said, Bert, you gotta watch this. And I watched it. And I was like, Jim, you're right. It was awesome.
Yeah. I saw like the first half hour. So I haven't finished it yet, but
Yeah.
yeah,
that's
they
fucking
were
good.
they were one band. They weren't around long, a couple years, and they reunited for one show, maybe like what 15, 20 years ago, I think, and that was it. They weren't a band that came back a zillion times. They literally came back for like, I think it was 2 shows.
Well, I
in
think
the
they were all
UK
scared of
and
Ginger
then-
Baker.
Yeah,
He-
right. They didn't
He
want to
pretty
deal with
much
this-
just
that
joined the
bullshit.
band and said, like, I'm joining the band. And that was it. I think
Yeah.
Clapton was trying to get away from him.
No, it was Ginger Baker started the band.
Oh, did he? Oh, I didn't even know
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
I didn't even know that. Oh, it was a Blind Faith. One of those bands, I think, did
right. Okay, Blind Faith. Yeah,
where
'cause that was
Ginger
after
Baker was
Cream.
like, oh, I'm joining. And they're like, oh, man, like,
Right. Yeah.
Mike D, what do you got on Cream?
Strange enough, I don't know much of them.
Wait, you know what it is?
I
You know what it is with Cream, Mike? Cream's got only 3 records, right? And the only record I know by them is not one of the official. Well, it's not one of the 3 studio records. Is every album I know that, or every record I know that people have a Cream? It's always that greatest hits record. Everybody's got that greatest hits record. Which
That's
is
probably all
really-
you need because they only put out 3 records. So
Yeah.
well then buy all 3. Is it that hard?
yeah. Well, you know why you get the greatest hits? It trims the fat.
Yeah. You got Sunshine of Your Love. You got White Room. You know, I mean,
Okay. Oh.
it's a great record. The greatest hits record is a great record. You know?
I would hope so.
Yeah. Greatest hits. But yeah, you know, and it's one of those bands, Mike, that you know more songs than you think you know. You know, it's one of those
Mhm.
bands. I mean,
I'm looking at the picture here on Wikipedia, man, and now that you say it, man, this fucking Ginger Baker's just staring a fucking hole through me, man.
Ginger Baker badass.
Fucking
He's badass.
scary looking, man.
Uh,
Dude, he's got the cane in the thing. He hits the guy with the cane. It's fucking.
I got.
Yeah, right?
Is that still on Netflix?
I can find
It
it. if
probably
not.
is.
Yeah, I can find it. If not. But it's worth watching. And then he was actually he joined or was helping out this young kind of like rocky metal band kind of thing. And it was actually pretty good. But he was a prick to them too. Is he still alive?
Now he died.
I think he died.
Ago.
Ah.
Yeah, a couple years ago.
But yeah, I heard he was a trip, man. I heard he was interesting.
Yeah, yeah.
But the greatest hits album, that's the album that anybody I see that has a cream record in their collection, it's usually that record. All right, guys, moving on to the next one. Another odd choice for us is an all-star country band, pretty much a super band, with country guys in it, the Highwaymen. You got Johnny Cash, Waylon Jennings, Chris Christopherson, and Willie Nelson. What do you got, Damo?
Yeah, I guess this is sort of like the country version of
The Berries.
Traveling Wilburys, I guess. You
Yeah.
know, but it's more. These guys are kind of like outlaw country. If you could picture like gunslingers with guitars, in the
Yeah.
Midwest.
Yeah.
It would be them. Yeah. So like a couple of years ago, I got into this big, like old school country kick, and that's when I kind of discovered them. And songs are really good, and not like they're not like your typical stereotypical country stuff, but a little more of a slight rock edge. Like this song Highwayman is pretty cool.
Great
But
song,
they're all great storytellers, these guys, and it was pretty cool. I mean, you can't get better than those 4 guys.
Yep.
in
Mike
there,
D.
I didn't know of him until Damien threw him out there.
Really? Wow. You know the Highwayman song if you heard it.
I'm not a huge country guy at all. I mean, I especially like the newer stuff, like that pop country. So
Yeah,
that's just totally like out of my territory.
Well, this is like Damien said,
Yeah.
this is the kind of gunslinger kind of. Yeah, this is a
Yeah,
great way
right.
of putting it. Great way.
Yeah.
Of
Sort of
putting
like rolling, like that type of stuff. You mean?
No.
Nah,
Nah,
man.
like-
It's
it. Almost like I wouldn't say as dark as Johnny Cash and stuff on Deaf American, but a little bit in that direction, slightly.
yeah. I mean, it's in line with if you know Johnny Cash, that stuff. It's in line with that. You
Yeah.
know, it's not like I'm gonna run on my pickup truck and drink some beers and
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'd
Yeah,
rather
yeah.
listen to that stuff than the pop country stuff that's out now.
Well, it's pop music.
That's what it is.
Country,
Well,
like
yeah,
pop music.
that's what all that pickup truck stuff is. It's all that pop country
Yeah,
now.
it's
It's like
just pop.
it's like I guess
With
it's
its
like
twang.
when you mention like that kind of genre of music now, that's what people think of. It's all the pop stuff. I guess it would be like, oh yeah, man, you like metal, and then think what's like the most poppiest metal, given like Black Sabbath a bad name. You know what I mean?
Like, but some of the old country stuff, it's almost not too far from the blues.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
it all comes from the blues, I think, right? Even metal,
right.
all comes from, you listen to Sabbath riffs,
Yeah.
and blues riffs,
Mhm.
It all comes from the blues,
Yeah.
But even like back in the day with even the blues stuff, where you would hear these bands or these singers just have different versions of the same song. There was like 1,000 versions of the same song. They just put their own words into
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, it's almost like the like that music is like public domain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But as far as the Highwaymen go, I only know a couple songs, but that one song, the Highwaymen song itself, I love. I love the story. I love the whole little story thing, and I should go back and
Right.
check it out more because I might like it more, especially now.
Yeah,
'Cause-
especially as like a songwriter.
Oh yeah, because you really dissect it, and it's so neat. It's definitely so neat, I'm sure. Okay, guys, moving on to the next one. The Power Station from 84 to 85. And, then they were on and off again to the present time. They had band members coming in and out. But the main lineup, that 84 to 85, you had Robert Palmer on vocals, John Taylor from Duran Duran on bass, Andy Taylor from Duran Duran on guitar, and Tony Thompson, who was kind of maybe a studio drummer. He also played with Chick, whatever the fuck you call it, Chic, and Diana Ross. But he played with a ton of people. That guy's been around.
Yeah,
Was around for a while.
Yeah. He probably is in my top 5 favorite drummers of all time.
He's great.
Dude is like a powerhouse. I mean, when Zeppelin did the reunion show at Live Aid, it was supposed to be just him, and then they wound up getting Phil Collins got in, so it was like they played with 2 drummers, and Phil Collins kind of like fucked it up and everything. Like they should have just did it with Tony Thompson, because he was a lot of people were saying he was like the next second coming of Bonham at that time. But yeah, I mean, he played with Chic, which is
Great
like
band, yeah.
a disco funk band, but man, they were phenomenal. Like
That was with Nile
like-
Rodgers. Was that with Nile Rodgers? Yes.
yeah,
right.
yeah, and Bernard Edwards, a bass player. So like the 3 of them kind of like formed everything and wrote the songs, and they formed like a nucleus, especially like the drummer and bass player. And then Nile Rodgers became like a producer, and he would get them on all these sessions with like David Bowie and everybody else. So they were on so many recordings.
Oh yeah.
But this album it's great. And John Taylor is probably my favorite bass player of all time.
Great
from Duran
bass player,
Duran.
man.
So you get that, and it's it's a real big heavy rock sounding album. I love the way the drums sound and everything. And they're about to tour, and then Robert Palmer started getting pretty big, so he bailed, and they wound up getting Michael DeBar.
Oh yeah,
in the
yeah.
band. Then that was pretty much it. But
Yeah. Well, I think when they do stuff, they might do stuff with him now. I think if they get back together, I think it's usually him.
I don't think they're going to do anything ever again now. I mean, the drummer's dead, and I don't
The main
think
singer,
the
yeah.
2 Taylor guys from Duran Duran like each other. So
Right. Mike D, you remember the Power Station?
Big potatoes, some like it hot. So
Yes.
they turn on. Is that them? Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
yeah,
Don't do nothing for me.
Oh, it's great. Their version of Get It On was great.
yeah.
I mean,
it was
I don't hate. It's just I don't know. To me, it's just like they're there. That's
Well,
it. I don't
I
know.
was a Duran Duran fan, so I was interested from the get-go with it, because I was a Duran Duran fan. I thought Andy Taylor was very underrated, as a guitar player. I think
and he was like the rock guy of the band.
Yes, definitely. And it was cool to see a band like that, and you have Robert Palmer. Still looks like Robert Palmer. He still looks like
The
Robert
suits.
Palmer. But it worked. They're playing this rocking stuff, and he's still like, Mr. Cool,
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it was only one record as far as I know that they put out.
Two has, I think I'm looking at it now.
If they got two, I
Yeah,
never heard
the second one might have been with
Michael
Bar, I think, which probably really didn't matter.
I don't remember. Yeah, I really don't remember it. But them two songs, even though Get It On was cover, but them two songs were pretty damn big, if I remember.
They were big.
They were pretty big. So if I was probably, when did that come out, Dame? 84, 85?
Yeah.
So I was probably like 12. So you were probably like, what, 9, maybe, something like that?
Yeah.
Wow. All right, guys, moving on to the next one. Chicken Foot, 2008 to pretty much the present. They're another band that's like on and off. They're all friends, so it's on and off. You got Michael Anthony, Sammy Hagar, Joe Satriani, Chad Smith, and when Chad Smith can't make it, Kenny Ornoff will play live with them. What do you got on Chicken Foot, Damo?
Yeah, I liked them. I think for me personally, I think it seemed more of like it looked better on paper.
Yeah.
Than what it turned out to be,
Yeah.
I mean, Sammy Hagar is pretty much doing
Sammy Hagar stuff.
Kind of like Chicken Foot now with the band he has, The Circle. I mean, it's him and Michael Anthony, and they play like pretty much everything that you want them to play. So, I mean, yeah, it was cool. I mean, that once, oh yeah, I remember that when it came out. It was like a big buzz with them, but yeah, I don't know. It didn't really invest too much in it,
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, a lot of great players and everything, and but Chad Smith, his main priority is Red Hot Chili Peppers, and, and that band is bigger than anything these guys are going to be doing. So, unless well, it's not going to happen now. Van Halen got back, but
right. No, I agree. I totally agree. Mike D.
Wasn't a fan of it. I stumbled across it, and like I think I actually looked it up because it was being promoted in the ads and everything. I'm like, what the hell is this Chicken Foot? And then I heard, I'm like, this sounds like fucking Sammy Hagar. I'm like, wait, oh, fucking Sammy Hagar. I don't know. This guy's got a great voice. I just can't. I for some reason I can't listen to his voice. I can't listen to Sammy Hagar.
For me, it looked great on paper. Not bad. It's okay, but it sounds like it's just Sammy Hagar. So it just sounds like Sammy Hagar stuff, which I'm okay with. It's, to me, it don't blow me away, but at the same time, I won't turn it off. I got both records, and they're both okay. So moving on to this one, the last on our list for Supergroups for now. I friggin' love this record. Love this record. Damn Yankees. From 1989 to 1996. Tommy Shaw, Jack Blades, Ted Nugent, Michael Corleone. If I say it right, Corleone. I don't know.
Corleone.
They got two records, Damn Yankees and Don't Tread. Don't Tread, not so good. The first Damn Yankees is awesome. They gave you High Enough. Yeah. They gave you Coming of Age, Runaway. What do you got, Damo?
Yeah, I got into them a little bit later, like around 2000 or something, like way after they're broken up. But yeah, the first album, man. I mean, every song is pretty good. I mean, they're all real catchy tunes that stick with you. The second album wasn't that bad too. It was sort of like an extension of the first one. But yeah, you had Tommy Shaw from Styx, Jack Blades from Night Ranger, Ted Nugent.
Great lineup.
Michael Corleone. I don't know who he played with then, but I know he's playing with Leonard Skinner now.
Who did he play with?
I don't know where he came from.
Yeah,
The Godfather.
right. Exactly.
Michael Corleone.
You're gonna play the
drums.
I
think he might have just been like sort of like an unknown guy at the time, because I can't find anything before that.
So. Yeah. Mike D, Damn Yankees.
I another one like went right over me. I couldn't tell you what they did. I heard the name. If they came on the radio, I'm like, it just sounds like an old man band. I just couldn't do it.
See, I loved it. The first record, I loved. I mean, first of all, you got Jack Blades and Tommy Shaw. So when they sing together, it's unbelievable. A lot of harmony stuff. They even did an acoustic thing for a while. Yeah, the harmony.
That's great.
The acoustic thing's great.
Yeah.
And they would switch off vocals because, Jack Blades also sang in Night Ranger. He's one of the
Yeah.
singers in Night Ranger also. And Tommy Shaw was in Styx, right? So, yeah. And, and the Nuge is the Nuge. But to me, it was Tommy Shaw and Jack Blades that made me go.
Yeah, just the harmonies. That's what really drew me to the band was the harmonies. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That's one of my favorite records. That first record. The second record, not so much, but the first record, I love that first record from top to bottom.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So we talked about some super groups. Let's name a couple super groups that were going to be super that weren't so super.
Not so super groups.
Not so super groups. We're gonna start off with Damn Rockers. Like if I can't even say it right.
Damnocracy.
Damnocracy.
Democracy.
Which pretty much I don't
Let's
think
say it
was
again.
serious. Damnocracy. Fist.
Damnocracy.
What was it? Fist. Was that what he was trying to put?
Savage Animal?
Savage Animal. Did you hear it, dude? Savage.
Yeah, we could call the band Fist. 5 members together equals a fist. Something like that.
He was serious. That was the best point. It was made for TV. I don't think it was intentionally put together to create a band. But it's a shame. I actually didn't mind the couple tunes I heard. I thought they were good. But you had Scott Ian, Sebastian Bach, Ted Nugent, Jason Bonham, and Evan Seinfeld. It was pretty much a VH1 reality show with Doc McGee managing them. And they only did like 1 or 2 shows or whatever the deal was. And
which I attended.
No, did you? Oh,
yeah,
well, guess what? I'm going to stop talking. I want to hear it, Damo.
I was at both of the shows.
Nice.
Yeah, I was in Vegas at the time because the show was based in Vegas, and this is even before the show was on TV.
Right.
But yeah, you heard that they're going to put some super group together. The internet was around, so you would hear like these news things, and they're filming a show. So I was in Vegas on vacation for like a week, and they were going to do a free show on Fremont Street. Yeah, I mean there was no band Democracy. It was Sebastian Bach and Ted Nugent, or
you didn't know the name yet, and all that.
Yeah. So we went down there, and it was pretty cool. They played maybe like a 45-minute set, mostly covers. They did like some Ted Nugent tunes, and I don't know if they played any of their original songs, but it was just basically just them having fun doing covers, and it was pretty cool. Then like at the end of the week, they did a show somewhere else at a real venue where they played some of the original songs and again some of the covers, and I thought it was really good.
I liked it. I liked the songs I heard. They never put it out, I don't think, though.
No, they never did. I mean, I think I remember seeing like some demos somewhere on like one of those like pirate sites or something, like Pirate Bay or whatever, LimeWire or some shit like that.
Oh my god,
like 2000. When did this come out? 2005 or 6 or whatever it was.
Something like that.
Yeah, so there might be some stuff. Even if you do a search on YouTube, there might be some songs floating around. But I remember some of the stuff was pretty decent.
The 2 songs I heard, I thought were real good. I don't remember the title, but I remember going, "Wow, this could be pretty good," But
the TV show was pretty entertaining, though.
I thought it was entertaining. I liked it. I'd watch it again.
Yeah,
I'd watch it again.
You
never seen it, Mike?
No, but I'm looking at this thing for Damnocracy. and it says Skid Row, Sebastian Bach, noted dick face Ted Nugent. Like that's how they introduce him on there. I'm like, wow.
Good stuff.
Yeah. I just looked on YouTube. There's actually a couple songs on there. There's one called Take It Back and Edge of the World.
Take It Back. That's the one I remember.
That's what I remember, that one too. Yeah.
That was one they were going over on TV and stuff. Yeah. I thought it was pretty good. Good. It's what you would probably expect. It wasn't something different. It was kind of like what you expect, but I was surprised they didn't put nothing out with that. Just a money grab or something,
Yeah, it would have been. I mean, if it came out now, I'm sure they probably would try to do something.
Oh yeah.
It seems like everyone is doing like the super group thing now, but at that time, I guess everybody was so busy doing their own thing,
Yeah, you didn't play in 12 different things. Everybody plays in 12 different. Everybody plays in so many things right now.
It's normal now.
It's so crazy to me. Mike D, anything on Democracy?
No, I didn't know anything about them.
Right.
First I heard of them.
An entertaining VH1 show.
I'm learning a lot this episode.
There you go.
You gotta watch a show. I mean, you're probably gonna want Peyton Sebastian Bach, because he was like pretty much like a dick in the show, but also like a goofball at times, and you know,
I'm all right with Sebastian. He was in the Trailer Park Boys. So.
All right, guys, I got one more for you. I think another TV show deal where they were looking for a singer for a supergroup, and the supergroup was Jason Newsted, Tommy Lee, Gilby Clark, Johnny Colt, which I forgot who Johnny Colt played with. Black Rose, maybe at one point.
Yeah.
Okay, and they were called Rock.
But he was.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah, Johnny Colt was the replacement for Newsted when they toured, because he said, you know what,
Newsted got hurt.
This is, yes, supposedly.
Yeah.
I from what I heard is that, you know, he saw the writing on the wall that was a complete train wreck, and he bailed.
He bailed out on it.
So they got him for the tour.
Yeah. So it was Rockstar Supernova. Lucas Rossi won. Not a bad voice. I have the record. The record's okay, but same thing. It really didn't. It was a one-off. That really. You think it was supposed to go anywhere, Dave, or you think it was just a?
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I remember watching it, but it didn't really. Again, like it didn't really seem like Tommy Lee was back in Motley Crue at the time. Gilby Clark isn't really like a lead guitar hero, so it didn't really the guitar player part wasn't like a really good seller. Right. You know, I like Newsted, but you really needed, if it was like Tommy Lee, Newsted, and like a shredder guitar player like Zach Wild or something like that, then I think that would have more bones.
Right.
You know, but with just like, you know, Gilby Clark, it was like, yeah, this is, you know, it's not probably not going to go anywhere. It's just probably just for the TV show. And it's exactly what it was. I remember they even played the Spectrum. Do you remember that?
No.
They headlined the Spectrum. I mean, I think it was curtained off. They had the stage like in the middle of the arena, but yeah, they were like giving tickets away. I didn't go. It was like,
I don't remember that.
On that.
I totally don't remember that.
Yeah, right after the show, they did like a short like arena tour. It was like, wow, they're really doing that. So I'm sure like NBC or whatever network put a lot of money into it, you know.
Right. It might have been VH1. It might have been. I'm not sure.
I think it was a major network.
Was it? Because who was hosting? Dave Navarro was hosting it, maybe. I think Navarro had something to do with it. He wasn't in the band.
I don't know.
I don't think Navarro. I think might have been one of the hosts.
So you know what? They should have put him in the band.
Right. Right. That could have made a difference.
He would have made more. Yeah. You know what? Right. Dave Navarro was the host. Yeah.
He was the host.
Burke. Yeah. It was on. Yeah. Mark Burnett was the actual executive producer. So he was like the big reality show guy.
He does a
like
lot of stuff.
Yeah. So this was NBC.
Okay. So it was NBC. Yeah. I mean,
2006.
But you got a lot of good singers. That did some stuff that came out of there. Nothing huge, but you had the Delana. Yeah. I like the Delana girl. You know what I mean?
Yeah, she would have been the better choice, I thought.
She sang for LA Guns for a little bit. Do you remember that?
Yeah, when they split off and they had two different versions, she sang with Tracy Guns for a little bit.
Yeah. And Toby Rant did something too, didn't he? I think it's another guy.
Familiar. Yeah, I'm looking it up. I don't really see anything.
Yeah, I think some of those singers did a couple things. Delana, I think that's how you say her name.
Yeah, yeah.
I like some of her songs. Some of her solo stuff was good.
I got a buddy of mine who plays in her band or used to.
She's got a good voice. She's got a good voice.
She was good. Yeah.
And I think she's been around for a while.
Yeah, I heard the record. It wasn't really that great. I don't.
Yeah, it was all right. Yeah, I thought it was all right. There's like 2 or 3. Yeah. I think she went having. They were all okay. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You guys got anything else for supergroups?
Nah, I'm all super grouped out.
Like Mike's superheroed out. Mike D, would you like to add anything to the spot there?
I don't know. I mean, are we missing bands like Badlands maybe, or they were sort of like a supergroup?
Yeah, you're right. Wow, I forget. Dude, they're one of my favorite bands, man.
That first record.
That was, oh my God.
I like, they only put out 3 records. I like them all. I
only remember that, and I barely remember Voodoo Highway.
Yeah, I only
Yeah,
remember the first album.
Voodoo Highway was real like kind of like Bad Company.
Okay.
And then the third record was like straight up like blues hard rock.
Was it all Ray Gillen?
Like
Did Ray Gillen
Yeah.
do all three? Yeah.
Yeah, now the third record, they literally went in the studio one day and recorded everything. He did
Wow.
he didn't have any lyrics. He just kind of like scat vocaled the entire record.
I gotta check it.
It was all done that way. Yeah,
He was great.
Pretty.
He had a great voice.
Oh, dude, he's fucking amazing. He's my favorite singer. But
He's
yeah,
great.
that's a super group right there. And
Yeah. I think that's
Jakey
good,
Lee
Mike.
from Ozzy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
What
great.
Yeah,
about-
Jakey Lee. You had Eric Singer, right? Eric Singer was in Badlands. The bass player,
Greg Chasen.
Great Chase. What was he in? He was in something
Yeah,
decent, right?
he was in a metal band before then. Not Keel. I think his brother was in Keel, but like just like a typical LA metal band. I think.
Yeah, so I would consider that a super group. Definitely Ray Gillen.
Yeah,
Ray Gillen.
yeah.
was
Ray
probably-
Gillen and
great voice.
was in
man.
Sabbath. Yeah,
He was in Sabbath, and I guess it's when he first, but I think
Yeah.
everybody loved Ray Gillen's voice.
mm-hmm.
I'd put him in
Well,
that like
then-
Ian Asbury kind of category.
Yeah.
I think Badlands is going to end the show on. I think that's a great.
I
What
think Mike's got another one.
Mike, you got another one?
Yeah, definitely got.
Yeah.
What about some Blue Murder, man?
Oh,
That was-
dude, that's another
Good one.
great one. It's another great one.
Yeah, that first record too. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
yeah, yeah,
Valley of the Kings. What a great song. What a different song.
yeah.
It's so
Yeah,
different.
it's like another Whitesnake record to me. You know.
Yeah, you had John Sykes,
Yeah.
Tony Franklin, and was it Carmen a piece?
Carmine Apiece. Yes,
Yeah.
some of these bands like were so good. You
I
kinda
could deal
forget
with
their-
John Sykes singing more than
I like
David
John
Coverdale.
Sykes. Yeah, I like his voice a lot.
I like Sykes' voice.
But yeah, some of these bands you kind of forget that they're super groups because they were like real bands. It
Yeah.
wasn't sort of like now, like we were just saying earlier, like you see all these super groups coming out, like, and it's just a one shot deal. Some label
Yeah.
probably offered them like some money and they do it in their
Yeah.
home studio. Probably doesn't cost them a dime. It's like no effort
Well,
goes into
what's
it.
that
They're
record
not
label
gonna
that does
tour.
like the George Lynch and Michael Sweet did the record?
Frontiers?
Frontiers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the guy at the record label just says, okay, I like to see this guy that like all these guys in the band. He gives them money to write songs and put out an album. And there's nothing behind
There's no
it.
longevity to it. It's just say, hey, it's almost like I think all that shit started when they started coming out with all right, let's do a tribute record to so and so. All right, we'll get Michael
Oh,
Sweet
yeah.
playing with
Yeah,
this
yeah,
guy,
yeah.
and
Remember that?
there
That
was
was like
ton
a
of
thing
them.
years ago.
Yeah, Warren's doing Panama, and then Vince Neil's doing an Alice Cooper song. You're like, what the hell's going on? Yeah. I think it's definitely that was like when everybody was starting to, and I guess the Frontiers
Yeah.
started. You know what? It's cool, but it's not. I mean, Michael Sweet's not leaving Stryper. You know what I mean? And George Lynch does whatever
Yeah,
he
well,
wants
they all
to do,
it's all paycheck. for
Payday.
them. It's how they
It's a
survive
payday.
now. So I don't blame them for doing it, but I'm
No,
not going to buy it.
it's a payday.
Yeah.
All right, guys, mixtapes and tasty cakes. We'll see you guys next week.